to pop-up breath and sound meditation. We'll get going in about 5 minutes. Uh, Physically a very easy class, so pretty much get yourself a chair and prepare to relax for a half hour with some breath and sound meditation. We'll see you real soon. What's that? Thank you. Well, welcome everyone to breath and sound meditation. I'll encourage you to find a seat. I'm sitting in a chair. Many of us have chairs around. Feel free to find a chair. You also might find a cross-legged sit on the floor. You can also maybe sit on your heels. So there's definitely lots of ways to sit. However you sit, you want to be a place where you can ground down through your sit bones. From that place, feeling a sense of lift in the spine. Relax shoulders long through all sides of the neck as the crown of the head reaches for the sky. Without shortening the neck, I'll invite you to tuck the chin ever so slightly as we start to bring our attention inward. And I'll invite you to start our practice this afternoon just by watching your breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Arriving on our yoga seat, ready for an afternoon pop-up yoga practice. From this place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as you find a long, slow inhalation, matched by a long, slow exhalation. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to bring the air from the base of your belly to the top of your chest, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, I'll invite you to keep your belly soft as you let the air whoosh out. To this deeper, fuller breath, I'll invite you to find Jiva Bandha, the tongue loop. Tip of the tongue to the hard palate just behind the teeth. Trying to keep that connection throughout the practice. Keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes, and let's do a session of alternating nostril breathing. So taking your right hand, closing off left nostril with pinky finger and ring finger, right nostril with thumb, not both at the same time. If that's too complicated, you could just use the index finger and switch from side to side. So start by closing off the left nostril as we breathe in through the right. Closing off right, breathing out through the left. Breathing in left. Closing left, breathing out right. Breathing in right. Closing right, breathing out left. Breathing in left. Closing left, breathing out right. Breathing in right. Closing right, breathing out left. Breathing in left. Closing left, breathing out right. Let's do one more time around, breathing in right. Closing right, breathing out left. Breathing in left. Closing left, breathing out right. And then bringing both hands onto our thighs for a long, smooth breath in through both nostrils. And a long, smooth breath out. Now let's do that same exercise without using the hand, just using a little directed flaring of the nostrils. And it will certainly be less effective in actually directing the flow of breath, but perhaps even more effective in focusing our minds. So sitting up straight and tall, again, let's start by closing the left nostril as we breathe in right. Breathing out left. Breathing in left. Breathing out right. Breathing in right. Breathing out left. Breathing in left. Breathing out right. Breathing in right. Breathing out left. Breathing in left. Breathing out right. Breathing in right. Breathing out left. Breathing in left. Breathing out right. Let's do one more time around, breathing in right. Breathing out left. Breathing in left. Breathing out right. And then hands on our thighs for a long, smooth breath in through both nostrils. And a long, smooth breath out. From here, let's work a sound meditation. So in yoga theory, there are 7 chakras. There's some discussion about that. Some say there's 9. Some say there's 5. But anyway, the system I studied has 7. And each chakra is a ball of energy. And it's got specific placements in the body. So the first chakra is the root chakra. It's base of the pelvis, pretty much. And it's got an associated sound. And that sound is LAM, L-A-M. So maybe with a L-A-U-M, so LAM. So I want you to put your mind in the base of your pelvis, hands on our thighs, eyes soft. And we can chant LAM, lum, 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 and the second chakra is going to be somewhere between the navel and the pubis, and its associated sound is vam. So I invite you to put your mind in that area and chant with me. Vam, 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 vam. Third chakra is somewhere between the navel and the solar plexus, so in here. Some people say it's more the navel, some people say it's more up here. Let me just figure a big ball of energy below the shoulders and above the hips. And its associated sound is ram. So putting your mind in that area. Ram, 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 ram. Now the fourth chakra, heart chakra, is about where your heart is. Something between the nipples, below the shoulders. And its associated sound is yam. So putting your mind in this area. Yam, 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 yam. Fifth chakra is throat chakra. Somewhere at the base of the throat. Some people might say it's where the other end of the tongue is in the mouth or in the throat. Its associated sound is hum. So putting your mind in this area. Hum, 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 hum. Now the sixth chakra, third eye chakra, is going to be somewhere above the eyes, about an inch or two back in the skull. Some traditions say its associated sound is om, kind of a combination of all the sounds. One of the traditions I'm particularly interested in says it's actually am. And I'll talk about that just a bit more, but let's use the sound syllable am, and we'll focus on that sixth chakra. Am, 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 am. Seventh chakra is crown chakra, connects us to the sky. One tradition is if you use om for that sixth chakra, the syllable for the crown chakra is no syllable at all, just silence. Tradition I'm interested in says am is here, and you got om for that crown chakra. So, and if you've done any yoga, you've probably done some oming. So I invite you to om with me as we put our mind in our crown chakra. Om. Yeah, let's do one more. Ow. And all this might sound very esoteric, but I find inducing these internal vibrations makes me feel good all along the various chakras, whether you actually believe in their presence or not. It's also useful if you feel some congestion, just getting some vibration going in your head, nasal passages, and it usually loosens things up pretty good. So you might try it before you take that decongestant, or maybe in conjunction with your decongestant. So a fun sound meditation I like is the humming bee sound meditation. So the idea is we put our fingers in our ears, we close our eyes, and we hum like a bee. And this is another good one to loosen things up if you're feeling congested. It's also very soothing to our nervous system. So I'm going to do it 3 times. And I like to vary the tonality of that a little bit. So my first B sound will be a low pitch. My second B sound will be a little higher pitch. And that third B sound is going to be a very high pitch. And we can go. So I'm going to plug my ears. Now I'm going to take that pitch up a little bit higher, so plug in my ears. And then finally I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm not sure how much higher I can go, but it'll have a different energetic effect. So again, plug in my ears, trying to get that high pitch. And then palms on my thighs, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. So let's back it down the other way. So working our ohms, focusing on crown chakra, and that's one way to work the ohm. Another way, what I like to do is consider the ohm as the link of all the different chakras. So you try to start the ohm as low as you can. So if you can find that root chakra, great. Most probably it's going to be somewhere between second and third chakra. And as we ohm, we start to draw it up through fourth chakra, fifth chakra, ending on sixth chakra. So when my kids did singing, there's a chest voice, also a head voice, and I think some of the chakra theory might have to do with singing, which is why there's associated sounds with these chakras. It's almost like our body is an instrument. We're starting to fine-tune the various parts of our instrument, so we've got a nice clear tone when we sing. So working the ohms, and let's work at that fashion of drawing it up through the chakras and then out through the crown chakra. So long, smooth breath in. And let's do 2 more. And a long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. So let's work our way back down the chakras, back to root chakra. So working with our sixth chakra, our third eye chakra, working with that sound syllable Now moving down The fifth chakra, throat chakra. The sound syllable is hum. Hum, 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 hum. Now finding fourth chakra, heart chakra. The sound syllable is yum. Yum, 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 yum. Finding third chakra, or power chakra, and syllable is ram. So big breath in. Ram, 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 ram. And now moving towards second chakra, reproductive chakra. So somewhere between pubis and the navel, depending on your anatomy. It's actually all the same. If you look at developmental anatomy, pretty much one goes out and one goes in. Maybe too much detail there. But anyway, so the sound syllable is vam. So long, smooth breath in. Vam, 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 vam. And finally back to root chakra, base of the pelvis, somewhere between the sits bones, the pubis, the anus. And we'll focus on that with the root syllable lam. So smooth breath in. And lam, 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 lam. And a long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. So that sound work can be hard work, depending on how vigorously you entered into it and exited out. So let's do a cooling breath, the Sitali breath. So I think about 80% of the population can curl their tongue. If you're the 20% that can't, no big deal. You'll just do the second part of the instruction. So we want to curl the tongue. We want to make an O with the lips. One of the few yoga breaths where we breathe in through the mouth. And I'll talk about that in a sec. And we'll breathe out through the nose. And it's a cooling breath. So curling the tongue if you can, making an O with the lips. We'll take a Sitali breath in. Now closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. Sitali breath in. Closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. Sitali breath in. Closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. Sitali breath in. Closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. Let's do three more. Sitali breath in. Closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. Sitali breath in. Closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. One more to go. Sitali breath in. Closing the lips, breathing out through the nose. And a long, smooth breath in through two nostrils. And a long, smooth breath out through two nostrils. Yeah, so generally in yoga we do breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, if you can. Now, if you're congested, you do what you can. We do need to breathe. The idea is that if you look at your nose, there's lots of little hairs in there. They're going to catch any dust, any insects. It also warms the air, all those sinuses, before that gets to our lungs, so there's less of a shock or a transition there. There's also, when you breathe in through your nose, there's a greater awareness to your breath just because you're hitting more surface area. There's also some other stuff that's come out recently is that I think when you breathe in through your nose, you get more NO, which I think is a natural circulatory, the opposite of an inhibitor. So it encourages our circulation. So we start to wake up all the various capillaries, all the various energy flows in our body. And we can do that just by breathing in and out through our nose. With this addition of NO, and I haven't done research as to the science, but it was very interesting fact that I read, and probably shouldn't spread it without having researched it, but it seemed like a pretty reputable source. So I will do more research and get back to you. So let's do part of our breath. I mean, obviously we breathe into our lungs, but we can emphasize various parts of our lungs. So let's work on a three-part breath here. So let's bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And we'll have three zones here. We'll have belly zone, we'll have between the hands zone, and we'll have heart zone. And we'll do a three-part inhale, and we'll just let the air whoosh out. And we'll do that a few times, and then we'll switch the cycle around. So I'll invite you to breathe into belly hand, between the two hands, breathing into heart hand, and just let the air whoosh out. Breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, heart hand, and let the air whoosh out. Breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, heart hand, and let the air whoosh out. Breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, heart hand, and let the air whoosh out. Let's do two more rounds here. Breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, breathing into heart hand, and let the air whoosh out. One more time with this three-part inhale, breathing into belly hand, between the two hands, heart hand, and let the air whoosh out. And then bringing hands on our thighs for a long, smooth breath in, and a long, smooth breath out. So let's work a three-part exhale with a continuous inhale. So bringing hand on belly, hand on heart. Let's switch the hands up just so we get a little different anatomical experience here. So long, smooth breath in through the nose. We'll breathe out heart hand. We'll breathe out between the two hands. We'll breathe out belly hand. Long, smooth breath in. We'll breathe out heart hand, between the two hands, and belly hand. Long, smooth breath in. Breathing out heart hand, between the two hands, belly hand. Long, smooth breath in. Breathing out heart hand, between the two hands, belly hand. And let's do two more. Long, smooth breath in. Breathing out heart hand, between the two hands, belly hand. One more here. Long, smooth breath in. Breathing out heart hand, between the two hands, and belly hand. And then palms on our thighs for a long, smooth breath in. And a long, smooth breath out. So with all this breath work, hopefully you're not feeling too lightheaded. So just take a breath. If you are feeling a little dizzy, just to regulate, sit. Now let's end our practice this afternoon with a seated meditation. So I'll invite you, if you're comfortable with closing your eyes. You can also just soften your eyes. Some schools of thought think soft eyes are actually better in training your mind not to be distracted. When your eyes are closed, it's a little too easy sometimes. Conversely, when your eyes are closed, maybe your mind drifts a little bit more. So picking one. It really depends on your mood, your temperament. So either closing the eyes and trying to be present here, not letting your mind drift, or soft eyes, and despite the eyes not being closed, still keeping the attention inward. So, and we'll sit for about 2 minutes here. Look at these yoga bells. You sit. I invite you to stay in meditation. I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. I invite you to hear the striking of the tone, its duration, its subsequent diminution, and then the ambient silence. Most probably it's not silent, just the ambient sound thereafter. So those of you that closed your eyes, I'll invite you to open your eyes. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart, a light press of your thumb against your sternum, that fourth chakra, that heart chakra. Lining up each finger. As we hold this shape, notice whether left presses into right, right presses into left. Try to even that out. Ending our practice as we started, just watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. So breath work without any work, just watching your breath, like you might watch a river as that river flows by. And we can end with one of my favorite mudras, taking 5 fingers of one hand to the edge of your chair. If you're sitting on the ground, you can take those fingers to the ground. The palm of the other hand faces the sky. So we're grounded to our ground. We're also open to possibility, open to the sky. I like to think of myself sometimes as a filament in a light bulb. And the base of the bulb, the ground, is the electricity. That connection to the sky, we start to burn bright as we find our illuminated energy. So grounding down through 5 fingers, the palm of the other hand open to the sky. A slight tuck of the chin. And just watching as our breath flows in. And as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands back to your heart and bow. The light within me honors and respects the light within you, and in that we are one. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing in the pop-up breath and sound meditation. Stay tuned to my Facebook page for other pop-up classes. We have a flow class tomorrow at noon. And I think that's going to go live in September down at Bay Club Gateway. So if you're a Bay Club member, feel free to come down. If you're not, I can probably get you a guest pass. Anyway, thank you all so much. Have a great, great day. And I always like the fact that namaste does sound like have a nice day. So have a nice day, namaste. And we'll see you all real soon.